Hey there, it's Matt from Swim University, and today I'm personally answering your pool care questions, from algae issues to water chemistry problems to malfunctioning sand filters. You guys sent in some great questions, and I've got some answers. If you want your question answered in a future video, make sure to fill out the form linked below. Otherwise, let's dive in. Question number 1. My sand filter pressure is too high, about 30 psi. How do I bring that down? Well, here's a few things that you can try to bring the pressure down. First, backwash your sand filter. Do this for about 1 to 2 minutes or until the sight glass runs clear. If this does bring your pressure back down, take note of the reading afterwards. That should be your baseline. So whenever your filter pressure gets 10 psi above normal, then it's time to backwash. The next thing you can try is your filter's air relief valve, because air in your system can cause high pressure. And you can manually release the air by turning the valve that's near the pressure gauge on the top of your filter. And finally, it might be time to change your sand. And I know that this is a pain to do, but if it's been more than 5 years, then you need new sand in the sand filter. The last thing to note is that if the water is flowing normally through the pump and out of the return jets, there's a chance that your filter gauge itself is just faulty and needs to be replaced. So check out our other video on filter pressure problems if you need more help. Question number 2 is, why is there still yellowish sand after I vacuum the pool? Well, there are 2 things that could be happening. Unfortunately, both aren't that great. So first, you might have a broken part in your sand filter. Inside the filter, there's something called laterals, and then there's a standpipe. And if it's cracked, the sand will get into your pool after it washes past through the filter. To fix it, you need to dump out all of the sand and replace the broken parts inside. Or it's actually not sand at all in your pool, and it's yellow algae, which is also known as mustard algae. To test this, use a pool brush and brush around a little. If it disperses into a cloud, well then it's probably algae. And to get rid of mustard algae, you'll need to brush the walls and add a triple dose of shock to your pool. You might want to check out our other video on mustard algae if you need more help. Question number 3 is, how do I know what size pool pump I need? You need a pump that's powerful enough to filter all of the water in your pool at least once a day. And this is what's called the turnover rate. So let's say you have a 15,000 gallon pool and you want to run your pump for 8 hours a day. To calculate the pump size you need, you want to take your pool's volume. In this case, let's say 15,000 gallons. Then divide that by 8 hours. This means you'll need a pump with a flow rate of 1,875 gallons per hour. Now, pumps are usually measured in gallons per minute. So you got to take that 1,875 gallons and divide it by 60. That equals 31.25 gallons per minute, or GPM. So you'll need a pump with a speed of at least 31.25 GPM, but you can always round up because the bigger the better. Question number 4 is, how much chlorine should I use in a small blow-up pool? Small pools are really easy to overchlorinate, and honestly might not even be worth adding chemicals if it's really small. But if you really want to add chlorine, check out hot tub chemicals and dosing charts. That's the kind of size you're dealing with. We're talking about tablespoons of chlorine, but you'll need to find out how many gallons your blow-up pool holds. And you'll need to test your water and balance your pH as well, just like any pool. Question number 5 is, how do I lower the water level in my pool? We overfilled it. Now, to drain the water out with just gravity, you could use a hose siphon. This is when you take a garden hose, submerge it in the pool, and then run it out of your pool to the lower ground. But the fastest way to drain is with a sub pump. Honestly, it's such a handy tool to have around your house and as a pool owner that it's worth just buying one. Question number 6 is, I never seem to totally get rid of algae. What should I do? All right, well, we have longer form videos on getting rid of bigger algae blooms, but it sounds like you have a chronic issue. And I'm curious what your water chemistry looks like. If your pH, alkalinity, and free chlorine aren't in range, your pool can become a breeding ground for algae. And if you're not brushing or vacuuming your pool regularly, the algae spores will cling to the pool walls and floor. And finally, just make sure that you're running your filter enough, usually at least 8 hours a day. Now, if you're doing all of that and you still have issues, you can start using an algicide in your water as a preventative. And if you live somewhere humid and hot, a phosphate remover might be needed. But make sure that you do all of those other things first. Now, question number 7 is, How do you properly maintain and care for an automatic pool cover? Well, you want to make sure that you're doing the basic cover maintenance, like removing water and debris as they accumulate and regularly inspecting the fabric and parts for wear and tear. And then make sure that the cover stays open after adding chemicals so that they can get off gas. On top of that, you'll want to do a deeper clean every 3 to 4 months. You can use a hot tub cover cleaner and a soft bristle brush to clean the cover itself. Then with a high pressured hose, you can clean all the nooks and crannies, the mechanisms, the pulley housing, the cover track rope, the slider channel, all that. Then you want to check the housing drains and make sure that there's no water or debris inside. Now, if you want to submit your question for a future video like this, fill out the form linked below. And be sure to subscribe to find out when your question gets answered. That's it. Thanks again and happy swimming.